In the name of God, my name is Mehdi Kordnavasi, and in this movie, I am going to solve an example about making some tables and fields and field types for the database. Here I solve in a Visual Foxpro, same program. And as you see here, there are three table orders and customer and salesman. Table order has order ID, customer ID, order amount, order quantity, and discount percent. And each order have a customer. So in the table customer, each customer have a sales ID, customer ID, and customer name and sales branch. And as you see, customer ID in this table is a primary key, and order ID in this table is a primary key also. And the salesman names are in the another table named salesman, just a sales ID and sales name. And in this table, sales ID is also the primary key. In this movie, I'm trying to solve same problem in a MySql database. So at the first, as you see, let's maximize the table view. Here is the same output via the MySql database. Table order ID is a primary key, and in table customer ID, primary key, and in table salesman, sales ID, primary key. So the first step is you must download and install MySql software in your program. For this purpose, you can watch the movie of MySql database tutorial for beginner 1, and the name of movie is beginner MySql database tutorial number 1, how to download and install and try to run your first SQL queries. Just see with this link the movie, and then try to download and install it in your computer. And I did a couple hours ago, and as the first time in my laptop, and I solved same problem and trying to explain step-by-step commands in it. Let's start with the create schema. I named my data 1 as the database name. This command create a database with the name of my data, and in the query line in MySql, if you need an inline comment, you can add the 2 dash or 2 minus sign as a comment at the beginning of the line. So this comment is not executable and just as a comment. The command create table I added the database MyData1 point, and sales name is the name of the table. If you choose the database MyData1 as the current selected database, you don't need to add the database name and point before the table name. But at the beginning I did table name definition with the database name and point, and the parenthesis open after the table name. You can define fields. The first is sales ID. I use as a character 6, the length of the fields in the parenthesis, and I add a primary key. I choose a blue color to show the keyword or reserved words, and at the end of the definition of each field you must add a comma, and the next field sales name character 20, and with the close parenthesis the command will finish, and after end of each command you must add a semicolon in a MySql. So this command create this table salesman, and the database as you see here. Let's some bigger. As you see here, the database name is MyData1, and these tables are belong to database MyData1. The first table is salesman, sales ID character 6, sales name character 20, and because the sales ID is a primary key, so just one index created automatically by the system. Let's do the next command. Again, create a customer table and related it to the salesman table. So the red lines is a comment because they begin with the 2 minus. So this command is not executable. Again, create table MyData1, the database name, point, table name, customer, and the parenthesis open. First sales ID char varying, it means the string variable, maximum 6 character, but the system automatically reserve the space for the input data. For example, if you input just one character in physical record, just one character will consume. So, and then comma. The next command is cost ID int or integer is the same. It means the value is an integer number, and there is no need to assign the length for the integer types. And not null is another keyword. It means the content of this field must be a non-null value. So with null value, system will generate an error number and ignore the input. And the keyword, the primary key, it means cost ID in table customer is primary key. The next field, cost name varying 20, And another keyword is unique. It means by inputting each value for the cost name field, system will check the records in the table, and if find the exact value, the input value will not accept and generate an error. So this guarantees all customer names is unique in this table. Again, comma after the field definition. The next is sales branch, char varying 3, null. It means this field can be accept the null value. In spite of this field with not null for the cost ID, here null means accept the null value for the sales branch. And the next command, foreign key sales ID. As you see here in this table, cost ID primary key is related to sales ID in table customer is not primary key, and via this field you can connect to table salesman. So I wrote foreign key is sales ID. It means in this table the field of sales ID is foreign key, and the keyword reference, and then database name, point, table name, salesman as a child of this table via the field sales ID. And with the close parenthesis and semicolon, this command will be finished. And as you see, the table customer created here. And the next, again, a command, inline comment, create an order table related to customer with its own primary key and some business rules such as defaults and checks. Let's see. Again, create table my data 1 orders, order ID integer primary key, order ID integer primary key, cost ID integer, and reference to table customer. So in this table, cost ID is referred to table customer via the field cost ID, and order amount integer, order quantity integer, default 10. It means for each new record the value of 10 automatically will assign to the order quantity. And the keyword check and a condition in a parenthesis means system will accept only the values with based on this condition. Here is a order quantity greater than 9. So the value less than or equal 9 will not accept for this one. And the default value is 10, but you can change the value 10 or greater than 10. The next, discuss discount percent numeric 6,2. It means in total 6 digit, including a decimal point and 2 digit, so 3 digit as a integer with a point and 2 digit as a decimal. And null means accept the null value for this field. Default null, it means with the new records, null value automatically will assign to this field. And again, a condition, check order amount greater than or equal to 0. So the only value greater than 0 will be accepted for this field. But null is acceptable also. And foreign key is cost ID, reference to table customer via the cost ID. Again, parenthesis close and semicolon. After you run these commands, the table will create, and at the end, with the command of drop database, my data is a dangerous command. You can delete the whole database container, including all tables and all records and data in it. So this is just only one command, but the so powerful and dangerous command. It will purge and remove the whole database container. Let's try together and run these commands in a MySql environment. After you watch this movie, I recommended you find this movie again via the YouTube. The name is MySql Workbench Tutorial, and this movie is a complete explanation about how to work with the MySql. You can use as a complementary resource for this movie, and I highly recommend to watch this movie after my movie. After you installing and running the MySql Workbench, and you can open a saved query commands in a file. For example, I saved this command in this file, and via the open, let's select and open. As you see, same commands appear in the new tab as a query, and you can add new query in another tab and type by yourself. So in this click, the whole commands will be executed together, and you can minimize the commands or maximize the command, and you can select just one command, and with this click, only the selected command will be executed. Otherwise, like this, whole commands will be executed together. So here is the action output window. As you see, with the green tick, it means the commands executed successfully. Otherwise, the red cross sign appears with the error message and you need to fix the error. So as you see, create schema my data 1 created. Here is a refresh. If I refresh it, as you see, my database appear here. You can open in a table, click just one command executed here, create schema my data. Because I selected this line, and let's delete and try to execute other commands. As you see, 35, 36 and 33, three commands executed. Here is the duration time in second or millisecond, and as you see with the refresh command here, the table appears for the database my data table customer. With click on this, you can see the fields, and with the index you can see the primary and other indexes, and with the foreign key you can watch the foreign key. Let's minimize, and here you can click on this sign. The table will appear as a grid, and you can add the data. For example, any data you want, you can add. And we click with the apply. The corresponding commands in SQL format appear here, and you see insert into table my data, database name, and table customer of my data, parenthesis open, and the field name sales ID, cost ID, customer, parenthesis close, value, same value, and with apply the query will run. And here is a error because there is no corresponding foreign key in the reference table, and it means we have to input first data in the table salesman before, and then only the acceptable customer ID or sales ID you can add in this table. So we will talk about these constraints in future, and don't worry about that, and just try to create a table and try to work with this environment. And in the file menu with Control N, you can open a new model. Here is a model, MySqL model tab, and you can add with the plus sign. For example, I rename the my data 1, and with click it you can add diagram here, or I try to download the definition of the tables from the script. So in the database tab, you can select the reverse engineer or Control R, and you can connect to the server. You need to add the password for the username and root, and with the next, the available databases appear. I choose my data 1, and with the next and next, 3 total object means 3 tables include in the database of my data 1, and I can execute the command. So here the result, 3 table from schema my data imported, and with the finish you can see the table diagram appears, and I can move, for example, order and customer and sales in this manner, and with the clicking on this sign with the plus, you can see the diagram bigger and bigger size, and you can change the condition and open the indexes. So that's it. Here is a example of creating a database and table in MySql, and I can click right on this and delete. Here is a delete. Close it. Don't save. And here the database exists, and I can add a new command, delete this, or open a new query tab and add a new command. For example, drop, the keyword drop appear, database, and my data 1, and semicolon is necessary after each command. With running this command, the database purged, removed. Here is a drop database in my data 1, 3 row affected, and all of the tables, definitions, and data records deleted. Here you can add watch the command for the command syntaxes in MySql, or you can write the command here, and with the jump to the corresponding help appears. You can watch and read about the command and learn more if you click here in online format. Okay, thank you for watching this movie, and I hope you can create your own tables and enjoy by working with the powerful DBMS and free DBMS named MySql. Thank you very much.